The Declaration of Independence is the DNA of America. You can find it in those simple words. In the first, it's like the 56 words in the second paragraph, where it says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." That's our DNA. When Joe Biden talks about this fighting for the soul of America, that's what he's trying to undermine. That's what he's trying to destroy. We're celebrating Independence Day on July 4th. It's not July 4th. That's a date. It's Independence Day, the day when America was created on an idea of liberty, individual liberty, equal justice for all, equal opportunity for all. How did we fall short? Yeah, we've fallen short because man falls short of perfection. Was the initial 87 years, did we have slavery? Yeah, we had slavery. And hundreds of thousands of men died to end it. Because the idea persists that equality of opportunity, that equal treatment under the law matters. I'm going to just remind you, and I'm going to just, on July 2 to July 4 in 1863, the biggest battle of the Civil War was fought 87 years after our birthday at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. In November of 63, Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address, a short speech that perhaps is the greatest speech in the history and recorded history. Here's what he said: 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who gave their lives that that notion might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we were here highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. Folks, when you are talking to your kids, grandkids, great-grandkids about Independence Day, share with them the Declaration of Independence, the DNA, and share with them what happened 87 years later when Abraham Lincoln laid out what the freedom that was fought for. And then when you get down to it, you might even go and read them this last paragraph of Justice Clarence Thomas's concurrence in the recent case, Students for Fair Admission versus President and Fellows of Harvard College. Because Clarence Thomas lays it out perfectly. While I'm painfully aware of the social and economic ravages which have befallen my race and all who suffer discrimination, I hold out enduring hope that this country will live up to its principles, so clearly enunciated in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States, that all men are created equal, are equal citizens, and must be treated equally before the law. On this Independence Day, Your Supreme Court has staked the principle of equality and equal treatment under the law as a cornerstone of our republic. And it is a cornerstone of our republic. It is the DNA of our republic. And those who seek to hyphenate America, those who seek to make us less than equal by creating a little minus sign between various descriptors, those who seek to do that are not seeking equality. They're seeking inequality. They're seeking differentiation. They're seeking the opposite of what America is. A nation, imperfect though we are, who has 243 years behind us of striving for equality and individual liberties for all. That's why America is the greatest country in the history of the world. We were founded on an ideal. We weren't founded because George Washington wanted an empire. We weren't founded because people said, gee whiz, let's see if we can grab some land. We're founded on an ideal, an idea that individual liberties come from God, from the Creator. They aren't granted by government. They aren't granted by a potentate. They are inalienable from you. They can't be taken away. And the government is only there to secure those liberties. And they exist by the consent of the governed, not the other way around. That's the DNA of America. That's the soul of America. And the soul of America that Joe Biden keeps attacking, keeps saying we're fighting over, is the soul that says the government gives you your rights. That's the Biden America. Your rights come from the government. Our America, actual America, is you're endowed by your Creator with certain unalienable rights, not from government, from our Creator. Teach your children well. We're always one generation away from losing freedom, but America is worth standing for, and fighting for the DNA of America, for the soul of America, is our generation's challenge and fight for the future. This is Rick Manning, Americans for Limited Government.